Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos, Nigeria. And this is our global headquarters. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. Super excited to bring you up to speed with what's playing out in politics and politics. Stay with us. Joint Task Force of Operation Hadinkai rescues 47 persons, mostly women and children, were held captive by ISWAP terrorists in Kangawa, Kokowa local government area of Borno State. A Ministry of Petroleum Resources aggregates security stakeholders to address liquefied petroleum gas LPG hoarding and diversion to neighboring countries. Thanks for staying with us. Part of what we do on the show is to bring you up to speed with what's going on right now, what played out hours ago, maybe up to 24 hours last time we were here. And I'm tracking what's playing out at the INEC headquarters and the by-election that took place at the INEC headquarters. So at the several, so many other, what's the right word now? The different, that's the word I was looking for, the different senatorial district and federal constituency elections that took place, the by-elections. We understand INEC is presenting certificates of return to the winners of that by-election across the 6 states that election was conducted. As you know, APC won 5 out of the 6 by-elections that took place. PDP won 1. So pretty soon we're going to bring you visuals of that. But that's what is playing out. Our reporter is on ground, making sure we'll get all of that. But let's tell you something away from politics. How 47, that's the number of abductees just rescued by the gallant troops of Operation Hadinkai from an ISWAP enclave in Kagawa, Kukawa local government area of Borno State. Persons rescued includes women and children. And according to the acting military information officer of the Theater Command, Mohammed Musa, the rescue was carried out on June 20th during the sustained ground and air offenses against terrorist hideouts in Lake Chad Basin. The military says the pressure forced the insurgents to flee, allowing their captives to escape. The rescued victims are receiving medical attention and humanitarian support. Now, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment. Okay, we'll come to that story in just a moment. Let's say maybe hope is maybe inside for Nigerians following federal government move to curb hoarding and diversion of liquefied petroleum gas, that is cooking gas, to neighboring countries. The Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources has convened an emergency meeting, or what they call the stakeholders engagement, including the DSS, EFCC, and the Nigerian Police Force. A statement by the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority says the move followed the recent increase in LPG prices and develop coordinated measures to improve supply affordability and market stability across the country. They examine factors contributing to the rise in LPG prices and agree on practical interventions to strengthen the value chain. All right, so for those of you who have been complaining about the price of cooking gas, the federal government is literally saying they are doing something about it. So people who are hoarding and diverting to other countries, that is going to stop. So let's see whether it will bring down the price besides the security issues we're dealing with. But let's tell you that on our DSTV platform, we'll be going over to Abuja for our live coverage of the flag off of Southern Park along the Gudu Prince and Princess Gudu district. That's part of the project inauguration series by the Federal Capital Territory under the leadership of Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the FCT. But that is just on our DSTV platform. On all other platforms, the program continues. So let me bring you my guest. He's the governorship candidate in the last election that took place in Ekiti State. On Saturday, he vied for that election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. And he's here with us to give us his own excerpts or impression of that exercise. Oluyede is governorship candidate under the platform of the People's Democratic Party in the last election. Mr. Oluyede, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Oh, thank you for having me. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. The data we have available to us shows that the incumbent, who has now been re-elected, being the first in the history of Ekiti State since the creation and even since 1999, to the best of my knowledge, to successfully, win back-to-back elections for an 8-year term. That's Biodun Oyebanji, the governor of the state. He scored over 300,000, I think 319 or so. But you came a distant second, 40,000 votes for you and the People's Democratic Party. Do you agree with that result?
No, of course not. And there are several reasons for that. I don't really think the results, as shown, um, expresses or shows the wishes of the people. There are a lot of issues with that elections on several fronts. And there are various reasons why one should not accept that election. Uh, the issue of vote buying, which is really open, and that video evidences of that going on all over the state. It affected nearly all polling units, and it's done openly, even with the EFCC officials having a full view of it. The police and all the security forces were actually biased, and they were used as forces of intimidation against everybody. Apart from that, the INEC too didn't really conduct a proper election. The believers machines did not work. Most of the time, they were actually put aside, and elections were just done by handing over polling um, materials to voters without any check. And there are video evidences of that, a lot of it, even right now on social media. And I have evidence of that. So there are a lot of irregularities in that election that shouldn't make that election result acceptable. Right now, I'm going through expert reviews of those elections with all the evidences I have, and I'm going to make decisions over the next few days on which path to follow. But having said that, I'm thankful that there are a lot of people in Ekiti State, 40,000 of them, who choose to vote without being bribed or selling their vote. I'm really very proud of them. I'm very proud of the Ekiti people that, despite all the stress and the harassment and intimidation, they didn't take laws into their hands, and I haven't had any report of lives lost. So we should
All
be
right.
proud of ourselves.
All right, Mr. Oluyede, so if I get you correctly, you are saying you're going to proceed to the courts. Is that what you're saying? So let's establish that first. Are
Well,
you, are you,
I am saying I am reviewing it.
okay.
I've had a panel of experts to review it, and I'm going to make a rational decision on which path to follow in the next few days. I have 21 days to make a decision to approach the court or not, but I will definitely. That's one of the things I will consider. But at this point, I am a fair gamer. This is not my first time of running for an elections and losing, and I have not gone to court before. But in this case, I am reviewing it, and I will make decisions in the next few days whether to approach the court or not. I have a few days to make my decisions.
All right, Mr. Oluyede, just like you is a politician, I've been around this game as a journalist for a while. There's the distance between you and the winner is literally a gulf. It's like Sokoto to River State. That's how wide it is. When you go to
That,
court,
that, that is,
just to hold on, sir. And it's always a tough game because politics, election is a game of numbers. Widespread,
I,
substantial is one of the things
I
that will be
do, I
used.
do, I do realize that. But when there is widespread corruption, widespread irregularities, that should be put in place too. I will, as I said, I am going to review it, and I'm not. I don't deceive myself. I will review and decide on what to do. But I can assure you that So far as I see, the elections as conducted on last Saturday is virtually a joke. It's actually a slap on democracy. It is a deceit, is a farce. And if that is what we are going to be calling elections in Nigeria, it is a tragedy at best.
So
So,
are
as
you
I said,
saying, so let me put this emphatically to you, to respond maybe straightforward. Are you saying in a free and fair poll, if because your argument is that it wasn't free and fair, that's my import of what you're saying, you could have won
yes,
this election? And why do you think you could have won?
I
The
am.
reason I ask, and there are two things that are problems here. Your political party, the PDP, is literally, with the greatest respect, in tatters. A divided house with literally almost no governor from where you're coming from. And then there's an
I do.
incumbent watcher that is stable and able to have the watchers to do what they have to do. So fairly, do you think you'd have won this square and clean?
Yeah, and that's part of the corruption I'm talking about. If I'm a solo politician that can shake the incumbent to allow 12 to warrant 12 governors to be on board, the Senate president, the whole of the Nigerian police force, and the INEC officials all against me, I should be proud of myself and be proud of the PDP that stood their ground to say, look, elections must be conducted and it should be fair and square. So the election wasn't fair and square. It doesn't appear like it is a fair elections. If we have, what are those 12 governors? What are they doing here? What do they are not going to vote. The only reason why they might be here is to induce the elections one way or the other. That doesn't sound like fairness to me. And the issue that my party might have problems, so to say, does not really affect the wishes of the people. The wishes of the people is what matters there. And the people's wishes were suppressed, were were denied them by unfair um, procedures by the INEC, who didn't make sure that the elections went the way it's supposed to go under the electoral laws. So we should consider all of those things. And as I said, maybe on paper there's a gulf between myself and the gentleman, the governor. That doesn't take anything away from the fact that it was a badly conducted elections, and we should look into that. We shouldn't just look at the numbers. We should look at everything that went on in that elections, and that's what matters. And I don't think we
Yeah.
should brush everything under the carpet just because numbers appears to be that he won the
Absolutely,
elections.
I agree with you that everything comes to play when it comes to election. But when you go to court, I was trying to look at the document, but I can't find it just as quickly as I should. I'll find it maybe in between the show if I can. I remember it was in the presidential petition. I think that was the case between Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and President Bola Tinubu in this last election, where the judex, the justices of the Supreme Court, had to dwell on the fact that something has to be substantial enough to upturn, and politics, election is about numbers. So whatever you complain about from that judgment, it comes down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers game. The only time, or one of the few times that has happened in Nigeria's history in recent time, is in Imo State case, where the governor came, the incumbent who has now been re-elected for a second term, is finishing his term, brought out results for I think over 300 polling units to be able to obtain. He came fourth by the result of INEC, and then he obtained that in court. Is that something you would like to go through as you
Well,
contemplate this?
I, I'm I'm glad you have an example to go by. But what I'm saying is that what really matters is the sanctity of elections and the expressions under democracy. That's what should matter. I'm going to subject this to every thorough review in every way. And I will assure you that if I know, after my thorough investigations and reviews, to know that I lost this election fair and square, I wouldn't go to court. But if there are reasons to go to court, I will. But then, beyond that, shouldn't we subject our elections to thorough review? Shouldn't we ask INEC how well they performed? Shouldn't we ask and review the performance of the security forces? Shouldn't we review? Because if we keep on saying that it's all right, it's elections as it is done in Nigeria, should vote buying or vote sharing, like they said, should it be part of our democratic culture? Should intimidation by forces, by powers that be part of our culture? We're talking, and people are suggesting that we should have state police in place. I'm wondering what will happen when the control of a local police is under the direction of a governor. What will happen if they're using the federal police against opposition now?
All right.
You understand? And if EFCC, who are supposed to control vote buying or money sharing on that day, looks away, then what happens to our democracy? All of those things as things that we should subject a review.
All right, Mr. Oluyede. Yes, all right, Mr. Oluyede. The reason I kept going back to numbers, because for those of us who are journalists, I'm happy you as a politician, you're looking at the process, not just the result. Those of us who are journalists and CSOs and all of that, we're not interested in who wins and who loses. We want to be sure that everything followed the right path in terms of the laws and the compliance and all of that. So I'm happy you follow that line as well. But from the reports we got on ground, they said the prevalence of vote buying was on across parties. PDP, APC, perhaps the APC was alleged to have spent more.
That is totally incorrect. And the people on ground would tell you that PDP, as under me, did not share any money on that day, square and fair. And I can tell you 100% that I did not release any money. And like you said too, I don't even have the chest to release money. I'm running against 12 governors, for God's sake, and the Senate president. It's actually a joke for anybody to expect me to take out my money and distribute it to people. And that's why I'm very proud of the 40,000 votes I got. I am extremely proud of myself. I'm proud of Ekiti people that I can still find 40,000 people that will vote without a inducement.
All right, Mr. Oluyede, before I let you go, there's a video I saw that left a bad taste about your conduct on that day. Maybe you help us explain to us what was the challenge that day? Yes.
Well, the challenge that day, whatever the conduct that you thought, I'm not sure of the conduct that you're talking about.
So you allow me to learn so that you can react to the exact conduct. My colleague was trying to get a word or two from you. PDP is a popular party, of course. Trying to get a word or two from you, as we usually do on the field, from the candidate. But your conduct was very, very distasteful to lose you with the greatest sense of respect. You didn't want cameras on you.
The reasons, I will explain to you the circumstances about that. The deputy governor designate of APC, our polling unit was actually adjacent to mine, and I had to drive through there to get to mine. There was no single journalist on site. The only thing on site that day was there were about 1,000 policemen and security agents that were intimidating people openly. And all I said is, look, you journalists are in my polling unit waiting for me. Why are you not really investigating things there? That is what led to that. And I told them, look, and so if anybody is trying to put me on the spot to that, I did discuss with them to say, look, you should actually be viewing and showing the other side of these things that you didn't show. So if there was any problem on that day, is the conduct.
Mr. Oluyede, that is your perception. You felt nobody was doing their work. You don't know whether we had cameras.
I knew
because my colleague did ask questions. My colleague said some of your claims were not correct, and as a matter of fact, that did not give you a right to. Just hold on, sir. Just hold on, sir. That did not give you a right to. Try to assault the person with the phone. They're just doing their job.
I didn't assault anybody. That is not really true. Why would I want to assault? Actually, that is actually unfair of you to say I assaulted anybody.
Okay, just hold on. So let's play that video. Let's play that so that it doesn't look I'm alleging. So let's play that video so you get to see. You get to watch and listen.
So we would also.
I'm not talking to you.
No, not
to you.
Sorry.
You understand?
My apologies. My apologies.
Pestering me.
My apologies, sir.
I've told you I don't want to talk to you. Stop complaining.
talk to you. You say you don't want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to her. She even apologized out of courtesy. Sorry, sir. This, she's doing her job. And then I don't want to talk. Then next thing you push the phone. So
no, if I said I don't want to talk to anybody, I think it's within my right to say I do not want to talk to you. And then if she keeps on pushing a phone to my face, isn't that assault?
You are, Mr. Oluyede, you are a politician who wanted to be governor.
I am a politician, but that doesn't take away my rights.
This was an election. No, no.
It doesn't matter. It is
so you don't. Are you saying you don't regret your action?
No.
Put it on record.
Not at all.
You don't regret what you did and what is shown on TV right now?
No, not at all. I do not read. I can't see what he showed me. Well, I can only hear the conversation, but I know what I did. Look, let me tell you one thing. Maybe you don't know who I am. I am a doctor of 41 years. I have done things over and over. I'm sure I am an accomplished human being. If somebody is telling me, if you approach me and I said, I do not want to talk to you, there are a lot of things going on behind the scene there that is not being reported. Did they report the fact that votes are being bought that I saw?
Yes, it was reported.
Yes.
You should have simply, you're a public, no, Mr. Lloyd, you're not getting the picture. This doesn't look good. You don't.
I do get the picture.
You do not get the picture. You are a man who wants to be a governor of a state. There's a level of temperament control, even if you're not comfortable with it. This is an election. Somebody is on you, covering your own part of the election, so that we can report everybody.
And if I said, look, you are actually showing a glimpse of what is. You are cutting a cake and saying, look, this is what you see. I want you to be fair about that. If I said I do not want to talk to somebody, it should be fair that that person should know that it is not the time to keep on.
Mr. Lloyd, I think you leave me in no doubt of your position, but that somebody is a journalist that works with Channels TV, so you're not talking to a regular person doing their job. But
no,
I wish you the very best.
Yes, thank you very much.
I wish you the very best.
I think you should be fair with what you said.
Yes, I'm sure we're going to get another conversation. I hope you can understand the impression of what you've created. Wale Oluyede is the PDP governorship candidate in Ekiti. Say thank you, sir. I appreciate
I'm sorry,
you for coming.
You got my name wrong too.
Yes. Can you help me with your name?
Wrong. Yeah, my name is Dr. Wale Oluyede, not Oluyede.
Okay, Oluyede. All right, my apologies. Thank you for coming.
Very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's switch gears now to Chetan Wala. Chetan, I don't know whether you're there. Oh boy. Good afternoon, Chetan. All right, so I thought legal practitioner Chetan Wala was standing by, but there's been a back and forth between the president and, of course, the presidency and Mr. Peter Obi over the issue of calling the president to resign his appointment. But I don't want to dwell on that because of time. Let's bring in our guest, who leads a leader in of the church in River State. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the program.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'm trying to get a few things right so that I don't mess it up for you. Reverend Miniabo Dagogo-Jack, the chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria River State Chapter. Reverend, I know you're a reverend and a politician. I don't know whether you're listening to my conversation. My apologies, I have just 4 minutes to talk to you. What's your impression about the back and forth between me and the governorship candidate? Because that's part of the extra of what we're doing, the conduct of politicians and the politics in general.
Back and front between what?
Oh, I thought you were watching. Did you watch my conversation with the first guest just before you came in?
Oh, they put me off. I couldn't get it here.
Oh, okay. Let me allow you off on that, sir. Give us a general impression of what you think about the state of Nigerian politics as we speak.
Well, I think it's quite pathetic that politicians are still behaving like children in Nigeria. Just too bad. Yeah, you're right. I was a governorship candidate 20-something years ago. I was the leader of the Conference of Nigeria Political Parties then for Rivers State and the South. Presently, as a leader of the Pentecostal churches in Rivers State, we have designed a political structure called the DPG. Because of the kind of way the politicians are playing the politics in Rivers State, quite unfortunate. So generally, the political situation in Rivers State in particular, and in Nigeria in general, is quite childish. Nigeria is dying gradually. Politicians are killing the destiny of this nation. And it's quite unfortunate. They don't want to play the games by the rules. We are called to give rulings or judgment, and politicians will interpret judgment of courts in their own bid, in their own favor. It's quite unfortunate. I have not seen this kind of politics before, and then we are praying that God should really touch the hearts of these people towards revival or for a change. So the situation of politics now in Nigeria is too childish, too pathetic. They are not playing it in line with the rules of the game.
What would you like to change in the immediate term to, recalibrate our kind of politics? Is it war chest politics? It's a big man politics? It's a politics of subservience of power? It's a politics without ideology and principle? It's a politics of self-preservation? I just defined what it is. And nobody's comfortable with everything I've just said. But we can't keep complaining. How do we change it?
Yes. To change it, we should start by changing our lives, our systems, our pattern. We are supposed to have improved by now. Judging from the electronic pattern of electioneering process, we are supposed to have changed by now, where we are working with the electronic voters register. In this case, we do not have foreigners' names anymore in our register. Of course, that's why you can have 300 and something thousand votes in the recently concluded election in Ekiti State. You could also have 200 and something thousand votes for the presidential election in Rivers State for the last 2023 election, because ghost names and foreigners' names were no more in our voters register. Now that we have another one, that electronic transmission of votes is also should be an added advantage to us. So we should start from ourselves. The opposition political parties are lacking seriously in voter education. Opposition political parties are still selfish-minded. They are not together at all. Everybody wants to become president. Everyone wants to become governor. In order to solve Nigerian crisis, we should start from ourselves by ensuring that we make sacrifices in order to get people who have ideals, no matter where it comes from. The tribal, regional, and zonal sentiments are so much that we want even rats, pigs to come and lead us because it's from our zone. So we should start by killing this orientation amongst us, by ensuring that Nigeria is suffering, so that we can bring the real people with good ideals, good vision.
All right.
And organize ourselves to fight this battle.
All right, Reverend, I wish we had more time. My apologies. I know you're also a politician, but now you're a reverend politician. We're totally out of time on the program. I'm going to invite you yet again so that we can expand the conversation. My sincere apologies. Reverend Minabi Dagogo-Jack is the chairman, PFN, River State Chapter. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir.
God bless you, very good. God bless you.
And that's it on the program. Thanks for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics.